Hello, welcome everyone. Today we are going to discuss the psychology of psychological problems. We will be dealing with this subject as to how psychologists right from Sigmund Freud to the humanist psychologists and the Indian theories of mind, how they dealt with the problem of psychological difficulties. For an easy understanding of the subject, let us divide the subject into four schools of psychology. The first school of psychology is the school of background history, and the second school of psychology is the school of emotions, and the third school of psychology is the psychological school of behavior and thought, and the fourth school of psychology we will be dealing with in this video will be the school of detachment based on the theories in Bhagavad Gita. Now let us look at each of the schools of psychology and how they approached the psychological problems, how they defined the psychological problems. And the first comes the school of background history. Sigmund Freud is a psychologist who belongs to this school. Sigmund Freud spoke about the id, ego and superego as the basis of his psychological theories, and psychological problems are the result of conflict among these drives between the id and the superego primarily. The id is largely driven by pleasure principle, and this may be in conflict with a social situation. In that case, this will be suppressed or repressed, causing that feeling to go to the unconscious mind of an individual. And these unconscious conflicts are at the root of psychological problems. And Sigmund Freud also spoke about the three different levels of mind: the conscious mind, the unconscious mind, and the subconscious mind. And psychological problems are largely in the unconscious mind. What is suppressed in the unconscious mind come up in many a situation, causing psychological problems in the life of an individual. Now, another prominent name that comes up in this school of psychology is the name of Alfred Adler. According to Alfred Adler, the cause of psychological difficulties is heredity and upbringing, how a child is brought up. The childhood experiences, especially the early childhood experiences, will be at the root of many a psychological difficulty later in life. Another famous psychologist belonging to this group is Carl Gustav Jung. Carl Jung spoke about certain new concepts like the collective unconscious and archetype. According to him, psychological problems are the result of the conflict between one's life experience and the archetypes. The collective unconscious means human beings as a species have inherited certain emotions, certain feelings, which is universally shared by all human beings. And archetypes are our feelings, like the feeling to a mother or the feeling of motherhood. This is also a universal experience to all human beings. And he also spoke about something like phobia. one develops fear of snakes, which is not a learned behavior. It is largely an inherited behavior. There seems to be a biological programming to fear snakes because they are dangerous creatures, and these are what he calls the archetypes. When there is a conflict between the archetypes and life experiences of an individual, that will be at the root of psychological problems. Now, there are a few more famous psychologists belonging to this school of thought. They are called post-Freudian or neo-Freudian psychologists. The famous names in this are Karen Horney and John Bowlby. John Bowlby developed attachment theories. According to this school of psychology, the psychological problems are the result of early experiences of a child with its primary caretaker, that is the mother. How the mother deals with the baby in its early days forms the basis of its personality and interpersonal style. If there is any maladaptation at this stage, this will develop into a maladaptive pattern of relationship and psychological problems later in life. We will discuss the other schools of psychology in the next video. Thank you. Till then, goodbye.